Hello, this is Amanda. Today I'm coloring Zen-Sational, a digital stamp from the paper shelter. First thing I'm doing is I'm starting with BV00. I'm laying down a few shadows and where I imagine the darkest places of the face will be. And this is going to help me create the image or the illusion that this is a rounded image, like the cheeks are rounded, that the hairline is or the hair is coming up over the scalp, so you see a little bit of dimension. And of course underneath the arms where they're laying on the knees. And these shadows help round out the image because the image is not a flat. People aren't flat. People have shape and dimension, and that's really what I'm trying to do with this BV00. Next, I come in with E11 or E11, and I'm covering over those shadows and just drawing out a little bit farther than the shadows are. And I'm pulling out the color into the white space, and I'm doing it a little bit at a time because I can always go in and put more shadow and more dark colors in later, and this is just a foundation. As I color the lighter colors, I'm going to be using more ink, and then if I need more shadow, I can go back in and add it later. And as you see on those shoulders, I put in a little, I didn't color up against the black line. I left a little bit of white space between the marker color and the black line of the image, and that's to create some reflected light, and that's going to, again, help round out the image. Here I am bringing in E50, and this is my lightest color for the skin tones. I'm drawing over that dark E11 and I'm pulling in that color into the white space. And I'm doing a few things on the face. I'm leaving the eyelids and the cheeks blank, and then I come in with E93 to color those cheeks, and then I come back with E50 to help blend those E93 and E50 together. I still haven't colored the eyelids. I'm leaving those white for now. Here's where I start coloring in my darker colors again. I bring in the E11 again because I want to darken up some of these shadows, and I'm drawing them in again exactly where I did before. I'm just trying to bring more color in so I have more contrast. Now I'm going to start on the hair. For the hair, I'm going to work a little bit backwards. On the skin, I worked dark to light. On the hair, I work light to dark. I start with E70 and I move to E71. And I don't know why I do this, but this is just, I think, the easiest for me, because with hair, I like to do long strokes first. And that's easier with a light marker. So I do the long strokes with the lightest color, and then I come in with my medium color and I do a little bit shorter, and then I come in with my darkest color, E77 or E77, and I just put a few accents where those hairlines would be darkest, like around the crown of the head, where the bun is, and that just helps curve out the image. Here I am coloring the skin of the dragon, and I'm starting out with BG99. This is my darkest color. If you notice, I have both caps off the marker, and this is because this marker is extra juicy right now. And by taking off both ends of the marker, it relieves some of that pressure, and it just it lessens the likelihood that it's going to bleed all over my paper. And I'm using BG99 just like I did BV00 on my skin tone. On the dragon, my next darkest color is BG96, and I am coloring over BG99, drawing out the color, and now I'm coming in with BG93 and coloring over that again, and that is going to create a variation of color that is going to help define the rounded areas of my image. Here I am coloring in BG90. This color is the lightest, and it's also the hardest to blend. So I'm doing my best to try to work those colors together. I notice it's not helping or it's not working, so I'm going to go with the tip-to-tip method. I take my lightest color marker, which is BG90, and I'm going to touch it against the BG93 marker to help get a mid-tone color between those two colors. And then I'm going to shade the areas that I'm having trouble blending with that mid-tone tip-to-tip method. And I'm always using my lightest color and touching it to the darkest marker. And I'm coloring the paper with the lightest marker. Here I am coloring in the darkest part of the dragon's legs, and I'm just putting a little bit of ink down at the beginning because I can always add more ink later. I imagine the darkest shadows are going to be around the kneecaps, around the crease in the legs where he's folding his legs in that cross-legged position, and where that fairy is sitting in his lap. And I'm just laying down the color, and just a second you'll see how I shade everything out. As I'm coloring in that foreleg, you'll notice that I leave a little white line of reflected light on the front top of the leg, and that's just going to trick the eye into seeing that this front leg is closer to you and the back part of the dragon is farther away, and that's just going to help create the illusion that this is a three-dimensional object or creature. I really wanted the dragon to look like it had some scaly skin. So after I was done shading the entire dragon, I went back and I added some dots, and I did this with the same colors that I shaded, and I just did some little like pointillism dots right over the top of the area I had already colored. And I'm using the darkest colors in the darkest areas, and then the mid-tones and the lightest colors in the lightest areas. And then I came in with the colorless blender, the bullet point of the original colorless blender marker, to do some extra white dots, and that's just going to push some of that color away to create an even lighter tone than the BG90. At this point, I had no idea what colors I wanted to color the fairy, so I'm here testing out two of my favorite RV colors, RV17 and RV63. And I'm just laying down my darkest colors. Again, I'm working darkest to lightest, and I'm putting down my shadows first. And again, it's just the barest touch of my darkest color. And then I come in with my RV63 and I'm coloring over it to pull the color out. And it's just a little bit at a time, and again, that mid-tone with that tip-to-tip method is really going to help me blend those two colors together, because they're not exactly next to each other on the color chart, so they're a little bit harder to blend. I decided I needed a third color, so here I am with RV10. It's very, very light, and it's also going to need some tip-to-tip to help blend these colors together. But I think in the end, it's really going to turn out well, and it's worth the extra effort to try to blend those colors together. Even though it's a little bit of extra work, I really like how it turned out. For the wings, I'm coming in and feathering in B00 at the inside of the wings, and I'm just, leaving a lot of white space available because I want to make sure that these feathers look like they're layered. And then I'm going to come over it with B000 and kind of blend those into the white space a little bit more. Here I am coloring in the spines with Y28, YR23, and YR20. And this is going to help shade the spines on the tail, his stomach, the wings, the little flappy thingies around his neck, and his horns. And I really like how this yellow blend looks against the BGs. Really pretty. And that's pretty much it for today. And I'm going to finish it up by taking my colorless blender and just creating a couple more of those dots, scaly dots around the face. And there it is. It's all done, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it down in the details below, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.